What's going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life, in the crazy life that is a digital asset space. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to each and every one of you. Hope you're excited about being an early adopter in this new asset class that is a digital asset space. Indeed, got a chance to do a live stream. Miss Crypto C just lying to me. She's saying, "Oh no, your face is not swollen. It's good." No, it's still a little swollen. It's still a little swollen. So, guys, it's good to see each and every one of you. Yeah, it's been just traveling back and forth to Virginia. Has been tough on the workout schedule for sure because, you know, with all the stitches and the bleeding, it's hard to get into the gym. It's tough to get back to the routine. So I think all the surgery stuff is done. And it's just kind of final implementation for over the next 5-6 months. So yeah. So anyway, really excited to do a live stream with you guys. Keyless is in the building. It is always great to see you. Miss Terrell Hauser is here. What's up, bro? Willie Washington checked in. Let's go, XRP family. Indeed. What's going on, XRP Magnificent? I saw that tweet you sent out to me about something going on in Austin with blockchain summit. I did not realize that this Friday. That's interesting. Be interesting to see who's going to be at that blockchain summit. I should maybe check that out and see who's going to be the guest speakers. I know James Rule looks like he's going to hang out, head out, and let me stop the share. I got the share going on. Out in that direction. Looks like he's going to head out in that direction for sure. So it is great to see you guys. What's going on, B. Chew? Keaston Sinclair is here. Is it Keaston or Keston Sinclair? It's great to see you, my friends. The market is doing what the market does. Bitcoin was over 51,000. That was cool. That was really cool to see. Over 51,000 at one time. Shiba Inu. What? Did you guys take some profit on Shiba? I did. I took the profit out, used my RIP formula, took some profit. Shout out to that dude, Mike Klingler. Did you guys do that? Did you take your profit? Did you take your profit? Did you put that strategy formula into place? What's going on, Todd Sellers? Yeah, so a couple of questions for you guys before we get into it. Anybody know why it's so freaking hard to sell USDT into US dollar on freaking Coinbase Pro? Anybody know why it's so hard? Like, why doesn't that thing just go through? Why does it take freaking forever? And why can't you do a freaking market order? Like, unbelievable. Shiba's up 250% on the 7-day. Wow. That's pretty cool. I took my initial money out plus 30%. We'll see what it does after that. Yeah, like even when I smile right now, that it feels funny. Kind of crazy. What's going on, Big John? Keyless off. That's very kind of you. It's really empty when you don't go live. See, that's very kind. Yeah, I miss doing the live streams. I really do miss doing them. Now I got the swole face, got the fat face because I'm not hitting the gym like I should. Does anybody know what the deal is with trying to sell Tether into USD on Coinbase Pro? Anybody know? What's going on, Alex, right? Like, what is going on with that? What is going on with it? I got an appointment at 7:30 Central Time. Yeah, I can't do it. It takes forever. And then when you try to sell it for less than $1 or 99 cents, it goes post mode only. I'm like, what in the world? Like, what in the world? Unbelievable. It is significantly easier to do things on Binance US, except for Binance US is not taking Shiba Inu right now. Yeah, well, Binance US is the other option, Keela. So Keela says, really? USDT? Interesting. Thanks for saying that. What's the other option to get into stable coins to secure the profits? That's terrible. Yeah. Well, if you have Shiba Inu, there's not many. It's just not many. Binance US is really good with depositing a particular asset on this you want to take profit off of, going into USD and then withdrawing the USD into your account. Binance US is really, really good and smooth with that. Coinbase Pro used to be, but for some reason, and it's my mistake too, because I had the option to go straight into USD and straight into what is it? With the Shiba Inu on Coinbase, I could have sold the Shiba for USD or sold it for USD Tether. And I didn't really think to split it up the way that I wanted to. I should have probably just gone all into USD. And then when I need to purchase Tether, it'd have probably been a lot easier. XRP Magnificent, I'm thinking about doing that, really. Try flipping it for USD instead, USDC instead. I'm thinking about doing that. But in any case, I want to withdraw into my bank account, right? And so that is kind of the issue. And I also discovered, guys, just to give you a heads up, when I was trying to withdraw from Coinbase Pro over to Coinbase in Tether, it's a $10 fee. They're charging a $10 network fee. You used to be able to move back and forth between Coinbase and Coinbase Pro with no fee. Now it's $10 to move the Tether. So you try PAX. I just want, because ultimately it's just a few $100, right? That I want to get out of Tether into USD. And yeah, it's just interesting because the volume and everything is there. It's just very, very interesting. But I may try and do the USDT for USDC and then try the USDC into USD so I can withdraw it into my bank account. Like, why does it take so long for the order to get filled? It's like very confusing to me. Now I'm not even signed in, but anyway, very confusing and very frustrating. Yeah, so guys, listen, the market is doing what the market does. Yeah, very, very interesting. Now, I know that this Siege is live. What's going on, Paul Bogo? Good to see you. Yeah, like what in the world? Yeah, any of you guys remember when you could move from Coinbase to Coinbase Pro and vice versa, that it didn't cost you anything? Crazy that they charge now. So listen, the news of the day, Tom Emmer and Warren Davidson, definitely lit into Gary Gensler, at the House Finance, whatever the freaking thing is called. I don't know. I can't say it. The Banking and Finance Committee, I think it's called. They definitely lit into him for sure. And I want to cover that a little bit. Max P, yes, our time will come with XRP. What's going on, Devon Steves? Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, so listen, that was a very, very interesting hearing. And like I said, I think I put a video out saying that, Congress is not going to put up with it. They are not going to put up with the way the Gensler is acting, Republican or Democrat. Because he is definitely acting a certain kind of way. I'm not going to respond. I'm not going to comment on a particular token. Like the pressure is definitely mounting. And shout out, guys, please take some time to shout out Patrick McHenry, Representative Patrick McHenry on on Twitter, he submitted another bill as well, another act. What is it? The Clarity Tokens Act, right? I think that's what it was called, the Digital Tokens Clarity Act, or Clarity for Digital Tokens Act, something like that. Yeah, Devon Steve. Yeah, I didn't realize it either. Yeah. And it looks like the only way to go into your account is you got to use Coinbase Pro. Gary is a snake in the grass. That's exactly right. Yeah, and it's only because I was doing the profits from XRP Magnificence that I used to do the same thing. Haven't used Coinbase Pro in a while. Yeah, and the only reason I was using it because I was taking profit on the Shiba Inu, and I was the only place that I knew, not that was taking Shiba, but easy to just go directly into your account. If Binance US would hop on board with Shiba Inu, it would be easy. Oh, by the way, guys, I didn't tell you. Did I tell you? I've been using that Coinbase card. Whew. I have been using the Coinbase card. Yeah, been using it. Nice. I'm liking it. I am definitely liking it. I haven't Plan X. How are you, my friend? Which Cardano Launchpad do you like? Siege, Card Starter, at AdaPad. I haven't tried any of the launch pads. I haven't looked into them. I do have them, if you will, kind of bookmarked to begin looking into them. It obviously makes perfectly good sense to look into it, but I have not kind of get there early on an ecosystem. But what the world, this computer? But I have not yet, like a Cardano Eco. I have like 2 or 3 things that I wanted to look into. A starter and cnft.io. And but I haven't looked into A starter yet, my friend. I appreciate you being here, Plan X. Yeah, Keyless. Keyless says, yes, love using to buy groceries and crypto. Haha. Yeah. XRP Magnificent says, yeah, love that Coinbase card. It is awesome. Yeah, I do like it. And I do, I like that you can use your bank account to purchase the USDC and there's no fee, but there's also no delay. There's no delay in allowing you to use the card. Right. I like that because generally you had to wait 2, 3, 5 days for the money to kind of show from your bank account on the card or whatever to be able to use the card, but not any longer. And so that is really, really cool. Yeah. And I know me and Miss Crypto Siege were talking about adding another bank account. But I got to tell you, when you find a bank that is letting you do your crypto stuff and it's not messing around with it and not doing this and not calling you up and not stopping and closing, kind of just want to stick with that one, man. So, and ours is it's not a local bank; it's more of a regional bank, southeastern region bank. But it's not a local bank, but it's not a national bank either. Yeah, no issues. So I'm kind of liking that. I don't want to definitely not mess that up and switch around or anything. But yeah, loving it. I mean, love it. Groceries, shopping, GameStop, whatever it is. Absolutely love it. And so these little things that you're normally going to get anyway, like groceries, like Keyless is saying, love it. Yeah, and we got over. We're doing ours right now. We're doing it in XLM, and because we're in the middle of this run, and I think XLM is going to do some stuff, right? So we'll see. Max P says, I like the Coinbase card. XLM back on the card. There you go. Yep, same as me, man. I'm sorry I missed your comment earlier. What's going on, Kiwi Strong? Yeah, I'm thinking, I'm beginning to think a lot like that too, Kiwi Strong. Get away from anything to do with ETH. They together with the SEC screwed XRP. Yeah. So very, very interesting stuff. Oh, you think it depends on your bank account? Really? Okay. Yeah, I was shocked, Keyless. I was shocked to see um, that we went out and tested it. I'm like, yeah, it's showing on the card, but I don't think this is really on the card. Normally it's 2 to 3 days. So we went out and tested it, right? Ran out to the house, ran up, and just to get something right up the street. And yeah, you were able to use it. So that was really, that is really, really nice. So yeah, now definitely waiting for the Celsius card to see what theirs is going to look like, but it hasn't come out yet. Has not come out yet. Anybody here own some of that Shiba Inu? I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you. Anybody here hold some of the Shiba? I mean, that thing is doing some crazy stuff. Let me see what's going on with the. Let me do this first because it's so important before we 7-day get into the market too much. Oh yeah, 256% on the 7-day, 267% on the 14-day, and on the 30-day is 232%. Shout out to all the people that own some of the Shiba Inu. Yeah, man, that's really, really interesting. And apparently, the dude Elon Musk Elon's at it again, apparently. Elon is at it again, apparently. All right, let me share the screen. We're going to get into today's thing. But should I want to definitely get into today's thing? Let me do this. Let's do this. And we'll go over the market because it's doing what the market does. Bitcoin, well, so the market, the total cryptocurrency market is 2.39 trillion. Bitcoin is at 55,000. What was I talking about? 51,000. Bitcoin is at 55,000. Oh my goodness gracious. Ethereum is at $3,579. Cardano's at $2.22. And Binance coin is $432, up 30% on 7 days. So the 7-day last week has been, people trying to catch up. So I think this is the highest we've seen the market cap since the 2.5. So I believe this 2.39 is the highest that we've seen the total market cap for crypto since we had that 2.5, over a month ago. XRP is at $1.08. Polkadot's $32. Dogecoin's 25 cents, essentially. Terra Luna's at $42.15. Avalanche to $60. Got some of that Luna, not much. Got some of that Avalanche, not much. Uniswap's $25. My guy did put some signals in for Pangolin and freaking Joe. Not financial advice. You certainly want to do your own homework and do your own due diligence. Yeah, interesting. Pangolin and Trader Joe, both on the Avalanche ecosystem. Chainlink's $26. Bitcoin Cash is at $619. It's time for stuff to start getting to their previously all-time highs. Let's go. Polygon is down $1.27. It was $1.30 something. So Stellar Lumen is at 34 cents. And vechain is at 11 cents. So that's kind of wraps up the market as a whole, which is cool. But Shiba Inu, again, shout out to everyone. I think Shiba was number 21. Where's Shib? This is number 16 now. It's over 12 billion market cap. Over 12 billion market cap for Shiba Inu. They got that Shiba swap going on. Let me go over here. Let me see something. Anybody using the Shiba swap? I did not pick up any spell, Keyless. Keyless said, did you get any spell or interested in it all? I have not got any. I do own some of the Popsicle Finance tokens, but I did not get any spell. I am looking into MIM, Magic Internet Money, but I haven't picked up any yet. Oh, Stevan Steve said, oh, you can stake your Shiba Inu on Bitrue? I wonder, is that better than putting it on Shiba Swap? I'm wondering. Because I have I put a third of it on Shiba Swap. Anybody using that? Wow, 130 to 160% APR on that farm, huh? That's interesting. Good for you, Keyless. Good for you. Cynthia G, how are you? Another lady of crypto checking in. Got a small amount for kicks, quick double. Any thoughts on it hitting a penny? No, I don't. I started using a new strategy for our holdings. Me and Miss Crypto Caesar's holding, Cynthia, and our thing is something called RIPFT, which is recoup your initial investment, take profit, and free tokens. And I started doing that, and that's working really, really well. It's more so much of a really mental psychology thing, but I do like the strategy. I've done it twice now. I did it with Shiba, and I did it with HBAR 3 times. And ANKR, I really like it. Oh, it's 1% on Power Piggy for Shiba. So as for that, so I don't really have any and the reason why there's no thoughts, Cynthia, on that, on something hitting a certain price or Shiba hitting 1 cent, is because with that strategy, it's essentially recoup your initial investment, take profits from 20 to 80%, and then free tokens. When you do that, when you kind of get to that point, it makes everything so much easier to kind of navigate because you're operating with free tokens. And so if it gets to a penny, cool. And if it doesn't, cool, right? And so part of that strategy is when you recoup your initial investment, obviously you now have that to invest in other stuff. But the 20 to 80% is something that you're just stacking off to the side and kind of building wealth. And what that does is it allows you to not have to constantly take from your income to have to keep investing. If you know what I mean, right? So a lot of people, right, take it from their 1 week check, their 2 week check, their monthly check, whatever, and they're getting this token 1 week or 1 month, and then they taking some out again and getting some money. You're constantly taking money trying to do your investment stuff. But with this strategy done properly, you can really leverage it to build up some really nice stuff. I learned that from my friend who is Mike, who is like an 8-figure earner. Dude's made a ton of money, and he turned me on to that. And so for crypto, he made 8 figures and other things, but I think he's up to 7 figures now in crypto. But he is at 7 figures in crypto, but his 8 figures was in some other stuff. And I just kind of learned that, and it just made sense. It just made sense. So. Darcy says, I want to start staking Shiba, but it's too much of a loss to move it. Yeah. Darcy, what's going on, my friends? Good to see you. Let me get over here to Twitter. Speaking of, cost too much to move, I literally stayed up to 2 o'clock in the morning just to move the Shiba Inu. Yeah, just to move the Shiba Inu. 2 o'clock in the morning. Just to have a reason. And I think I ended up having a $6 ETH fee just to move Shiba. Yeah. Craziness. Yeah. Usually I can get away with staying up to about 12 o'clock, which is 1 o'clock. So essentially it was 3 o'clock East Coast time. It was 2 o'clock Central time that I was up just to get a decent price on moving that. Yeah, so it's crazy. Very, very, very crazy, guys. So listen, look at this here. Tom Emmer says, watch me hold Gary Gensler accountable for how his leadership could devastate American crypto investors. I'm sure, I don't know if anybody's played this. I haven't seen anyone play this. I know a lot of us did watch, but I didn't get a chance to watch the whole 2-hour deal. So let's check this out together. Shout out to you, Tom Emmer, and Warren Davidson, and Patrick McHenry. Call that dude out.
To be our guide star on this. I yield back.
Thank you very much. The gentleman time has gone by. The gentleman from Minnesota, Mr. Elmer, is now recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you. Chairman Gensler, thanks. Like everyone else, I want to thank you for appearing before the committee today. Appreciate your time. You've already covered this topic with some other members, but I want to go into it again. There are millions of Americans, as you know, who hold cryptocurrency. Specifically, over 55 million Americans are now engaged in this asset class. And the value of these cryptocurrencies, the value of the market, is approximately $2 trillion. You've been outspoken in that you think most cryptocurrencies on the market are securities. I couldn't disagree with you more thoroughly. I believe most cryptocurrencies are commodities or currency. But for the purpose of better understanding your perspective, I have several quick questions I'd like to run through during my time, and I'd appreciate quick responses to each question. Chair Gensler, let's say someone who issued a token agrees with you and thinks that their token is a security and they want to register it with the SEC. If they register it, can they trade it on the New York Stock Exchange, or could they trade it on NASDAQ?
It would somewhat depend on NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange listing rules and how they register it, but there's multiple ways to register. If they registered and the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ said yes, that might facilitate it. Nobody's asked to do that as far as I understand.
Actually, the answer is no. Can a broker-dealer like Charles Schwab, another question, deal in a digital asset that has gone through SEC registration? In other words, would they be able to trade these digital asset securities and custody them?
Well, the custody is really the issue that you mentioned. We have not been able to sort through. There's a feature of crypto assets, which is that a private key transfers ownership. That's a feature, but it also creates challenges, or some would say it's both a feature and a bug of the custody of those crypto assets.
Again, I believe the answer is no. And I think earlier today you used the term stable value coins. There's no such thing. Value is a term that you put in there. They are stable coins. Chair Gensler, as you know, there are about 100 tokens with a $1 billion market cap. Let's say you deem one of these coins with $1 billion market cap and tens of thousands of investors as security. What happens to those investors, sir?
Well, if the coin were to come in and to actually register, those investors get the benefit of our securities law. Right now, they don't have the benefit of that basic bargain that we protect people against fraud and manipulation in our capital markets, is they get full and fair disclosure. They're not getting that right now, and it's falling short, and people are going to get hurt.
Chair Gensler, actually, what will happen under that scenario is the value of the token will plummet, and retail investors, the very people you are supposed to protect, will not be able to trade in it. So I guess where I'm going to go with this, if there's no path for them to be traded anywhere, wouldn't investors be hurt by your enforcement actions? And what are you doing to solve this problem? What are you going to do?
What I've said publicly, and I mean this, is come in, work with us. If the rules that were written in other decades don't quite fit these digital investment contracts, and that's what many of these are. They're entrepreneurs, computer scientists that are raising money from the public, and the public is anticipating profits. And that's why Congress painted with a broad brush, and the investing public is relying on some group of entrepreneurs and computer scientists for their profits. And I'm glad to work with projects, work with Congress if you want to repeal the laws as they are, so that fewer people are protected against fraud in the.
Yeah. So yeah, that was some very, very interesting back and forth. It is clear that Tom Emmer is not on the same page. He must have went early on the where am I at? On that hearing committee, because I did not see that. Did not see that. Hopefully my stream is working okay, guys. Please let me know if it is not. Keela says it was like pulling teeth listening to Gary. Hashtag Gary is not your friend. Indeed, it was, Keela. It really, really was. Is Trevor here? What's going on, Trevor? What's good, bro? Good to see you. Trevor is in the building. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, that was interesting. But yeah, it was good to see that. And it does look like Congress is going to have to come up with something. It was great to see Pat McHenry put his, his tokens Clarity Act into, presented as well. So we got what, 4, 5, 6 of these things, if you include the Token Taxonomy Act as well. Tom Emmer has put something in also. Of course, we know Warren Davidson with the Token Taxonomy Act, Representative Darren Soto. So, it looks like something is going to have to, or maybe, kind of take, 2 or 3 of those and kind of, mesh them together to come up with one. Because Gary understands completely what he's doing. He knows that he has his quote unquote broad brush, if you will, to bring enforcement. He knows that. I don't know which one of these proposals do you guys like best? I really do like the one that Patrick McHenry put together. Patrick McHenry, from representative out of North Carolina, because it's based on Hester Peirce's what does she call that? The safe harbor thing that she wants to do. And hope you guys did notice that Gary Gensler did not answer Patrick McHenry's question and whether or not he actually looked over that safe harbor proposal, because they know, they fully include all the people that are looking into this know that Gary has his own personal political agenda. And of course, obviously, if he can help the likes of Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan, he will do that as well. But he has his own personal agenda without question. And I think Ryan Selke said it the best with it. He was definitely looking to get a political gig. Ryan said that about Gary, whether it be treasurer or something in the White House. He wants to be the one. He says that he reigned in this market for his own kind of political thing. So yeah, it's going to be really very, very interesting to see. I had something else that I wanted to share with you guys also. If I can find it, and hopefully my Wi-Fi will work. All right, yep, there it is. Let's share this. This is another good thing. Speaking of, Ripple is doing some absolutely outstanding stuff in the midst of all of this madness with the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit, case. We're excited to partner with QNB Group to provide an enhanced cross-border payments experience in Qatar and ultimately scale QNB's remittance service on RippleNet into additional markets. Like, it is so very, very interesting to see what's going on. And it is really, doesn't it feel undeniable that RippleNet is becoming the new Swift? Doesn't it really seem so very, very obvious what is going on? And we all know that JP Morgan is trying to get in payments, and we all know that Lubin and the likes are trying to help them get into payments, right? We all know that Goldman's they would like to slow down Coinbase and slow down Uniswap and slow down Ripple. We all know this, right? The incumbents want to slow down the new upstarts and new up and coming without question. But Ripple just continues to move forward. I mean, Qatar National Bank, it is pretty impressive, to say the least. Now, here's another kind of back and forth with Warren Davis. Ron Hammond, formerly of Ripple, now at the Blockchain Association, Director of Government Relations at Blockchain Association. Great line of questioning by my former boss, Warren Davidson, at today's SEC's oversight hearing. 3 years ago, we were working diligently on crafting the Token Taxonomy Act, and still to this day, legislative clarity is severely lacking for the crypto markets. Let's play this one.
Your time here today. In 2018, there was a New York Times article that discusses your views on blockchain and various cryptocurrencies. One of the cryptocurrencies discussed in the article was Ethereum. In the article, you say that Ether could have problems with securities laws because some of the first tokens were sold by the Ethereum Foundation before the network was actually functional. You go on to say that Ethereum could get off the hook from securities laws due to the fact that it developed into a decentralized network. You've repeatedly said that you believe initial coin offering tokens are securities, but right here it's sounding like you're acknowledging that Ether transitioned from what would have been a security into a commodity once the network was adequately decentralized. Can you clarify when a token is sufficiently decentralized to no longer be a security in your view?
I thank you for that, and digging back to an article from 3 years ago, but I was honored to study and research these issues at MIT, and what I was commenting on then was a process that the SEC was going forward on, and I think then head of corporate finance was talking about in that time frame. And so without going into any one token, what I think the core test is, and it's the test the Supreme Court has taken up numerous times with a broad brush, where you're raising money from others and the investing public anticipating profits based upon the efforts in some collective group of individuals. That's central test. It's called the Howey test. There's other broad brushes with regard to this as well, as to when something is a note, called the Reeves test that Thurgood Marshall wrote a few decades ago. Fundamentally, the SEC is here to help protect the public from fraud, and that's why Congress painted with a broad brush.
Yeah, thanks for the clarification. And unfortunately, Congress didn't create the Howey test, the courts did. The same with the Reeves. And frankly, we're dependent on this patchwork of regulation by enforcement. Obviously, there are people that feel that a particular, token like Ether is treated differently than one like XRP, for example, is something, a matter that's before you right now, because of the same thing. Is it centralized or is it decentralized? Who has control? And I think that really gets to the issue. Congress really should clarify. We've had a bipartisan legislation called the Token Taxonomy Act drafted since 2018. We can't get a hearing on it. It would provide a bright line test that would apply a 1950s case law, Howey test, to modern digital assets and provide some of that clarity. But could you, generically speaking, talk about the shortcomings of enforcement actions or even threatened enforcement actions versus the need for clarity, maybe a rulemaking process that would establish a bright line? Because really what you referred to was, well, come talk to us in a one-on-one kind of third world way where every individual firm cuts their own deals. What the market really needs is clarity. Wouldn't that be better than threatened enforcement?
Well, I actually think that the securities laws are pretty clear on this, sir. And I think that firms should just come in and register. But what's happened over the last 4 or 5 years is they've either chosen not to, or they've stood up in Singapore or Malta or Hong Kong or other countries and offered their services indirectly through virtual private networks. Not all of them. Some of them are here in the U.S. as well. And I think that our securities laws were written for a reason, to protect the public, the investing public.
Yeah, I think you're right. We should protect the public, but we need to do it with clarity. And frankly, we should do it in a way that doesn't destroy the market. I mean, you're talking about fintech being the leading innovation. America has led in market after market after market in field of technology.
Yeah. So in any case, I think we should be protecting the American investor, right? U.S. investor, right? But we should be doing it with clarity. Is nicely done. That's exactly the way it should be done, with clarity, right? With clarity, right? And I was watching this earlier today, and I'm thinking, you know, America has always led in this particular in particular areas of new invention and innovation. And obviously, you know, there's a chance that we'll be kind of left behind. There's a slight chance of that. But the thing that I think is really more important is if the U.S. is to lead an innovation, who in the U.S. is going to lead it? And I think that behind closed doors, that is the question being asked. And I think that's what the fight is really, with the old incumbents and the new fintechs like Uphold, Coinbase, Ripple, etc. Right? I think that is the deal. And it's interesting that it has become political. It's interesting that the vast majority of the tough questions are coming from Republicans to Gary Gensler on crypto and not from Democrats. It's interesting that that has become political, and I'm trying to figure out, why is that? Are you real? Can someone say to me, it's just the Democrats just aren't into crypto? That just doesn't make sense. To me, it seems like there has to be some political thing that's going on, whether it be the banking cartel. You know, that's what it feels like to me. Right? Like, how can it's hard for me to just think, yeah, only Republicans in Congress are interested in crypto. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, it just doesn't make sense. So if America is going to lead in this new innovation, fintech innovation, it feels like the fight is, well, who's going to be leading it in America? Right? Is it Fidelity? Is it freaking JP Morgan? Is it Goldman's? That's what it feels like the fight is. They're trying to hold on for, you know, for dear life and fight against DeFi and fight against platforms like Celsius, right? So many people. I was watching George Gammon earlier today for a brief few minutes, and he just flat out said that people are getting rich off of crypto. Just, you know, the average Joe, the average Jane. I saw there was a billionaire kid, like 1920. Right? And so remember, the incumbents have been so used to us, the retail investor, being the liquidity for them. They're so used to that. And now the table is being switched, it's been flipped. And they don't know how to deal with it. That's a big time challenge. You know, that's a big time challenge. And so that is that fight, that level playing field. And, you know, I don't know if it's the elites. You know, I know Darren Moore gets a lot in when he does his videos about the elites, and D and I get a lot into that as well. I don't know who it is, but there are some people who are trying to fight to keep us in their liquidity versus us, you know, taking charge of our own money and our own wealth and being able to participate on a level playing field. You know, that is the deal. So guys, listen, Shiba Inu is doing outstanding. I hope you had a chance to, if you did get some, congratulations to each and every one of you for holding some of that. Look, I mean, 55,000 Bitcoin is pretty cool. We shall see what's going on. 260%, 200, you know, nearly 270% on a 14-day for Shiba Inu. And some people thought, yeah, you know, they got a Shiba swap going on now. They got you know, they got a platform that's participating in DeFi. Network adoption, right? When adoption happens, right? And so there it is there. Very, very interesting. And utility, like my guy, Mickey B. Fresh says, you know, when that token's being used, whether it's being to delegate votes, whether it's for gas fees, whether it's for transactions, whatever it is, it's being utilized, right? And there's going to come a time where we're going to not have to be dependent upon exchanges, nevertheless, TD Ameritrades and Fidelities of the world. Or we're not going to have to be dependent upon exchanges like Coinbase Pro, and we'll be able to make our own moves on our own. So that's the future for us, guys. I'm so excited that we are here early. We're setting the trail. We're paving the way for new people, more people to come into this space. You know, we really, really are. So continue to hodl strong. Plan X. Isaiah's Commission 8. Yeah, that's one of my favorites right there. One of my favorites. I watched that movie Fury, and I remember that dude saying that in that movie. Here am I, send me. One of my favorites. One of my favorites, Plan X. What's going on, Ninja Pants? Great to see you. Oh wow, you bought a bunch of the Sheep, huh? When did you buy it? Yeah, you just got to think, you know, and if you put the strategy, you know, you look into that strategy, how you have to make your own decision. But I like the RIPFT. I like it, especially when you start stacking, you know, that money away that you just never touch, right? And you keep taking those 100, 200, 300% gains. And then when the free tokens do whatever the free tokens are going to do, hey, it's not bad. Not bad. What's going on, Napton XRP? Great video. Thanks, C's. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you being here. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap this video up. Thank you so much for hanging out today. It's been a really, really cool hang. It is great to be able to do a live stream again. Naptown, Plan X, Ninja Pants, Devon, Steve, Darcy. Thank you, my guys, for hanging out. I appreciate that. Keyless and Face Stamper and Philip Juan. I appreciate you guys being here. It's always been a cool hang. Trevor, as always, I appreciate you, bro. Devon, Steve, Cynthia for hanging out. Luna, what's going on, my friend? I appreciate you checking in today. XRP Magnificent, as always, I appreciate you, bro. Kiwi Strong, Paul Bogo, the Bouts are in the buildings. Appreciate you being here, bro. Alex Wright, B. Chu, Kisses Sinclair, appreciate you guys. And of course, my dude, my guy, Terrell, I appreciate you hanging today. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to end this video like I do all of my videos and remind you guys of this, that old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather that we remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating, or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it.